Win. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming at you live from Life on the Rocks with your host, Rocques. Today's featured guest in the hot seat is my good friend, my old trainer, Jessie Cronier.
What's up, man?
Not too much. How you doing today?
I'm good. A little sore, not that sore, but you know, I'm feeling good today.
That's it. As long as you're feeling good. For anybody who doesn't know, Jessie is actually a Muay Thai K1 fighter. Jessie, how many fights do you have?
I think I have, including like in-houses and sanctioned fights, maybe around 40 fights.
40 fights.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of friggin' battle damage there.
Oh yeah.
It's funny though. I've known Jessie for honestly over the last 9 years when I started martial arts, and Jessie was the type of guy. Every time we'd all go in, some of us would get beat up. You'd always come out. You would always win those fights. I don't know what it is. If it was the technique, if it was just you're a good martial artist. To start this off, what got you started in martial arts, becoming Muay Thai?
Well, I've always been a big fan of you know, of the UFC and kickboxing, stuff like that. I remember seeing a video on YouTube. It was Raymond Decker's, and that really inspired me to start. And then I moved here, and then that's when I started Muay Thai. You know.
So that's what started Muay Thai. So you're not originally from Sudbury. You're from Timmins.
Yeah, I'm from Timmins. Yeah, I actually started my whole journey was 12 years old in boxing at Timmins Boxing Club. So.
Were you a good boxer?
You know. Not that good.
Not too bad.
I'm still not that good, but
no, that's, honestly, I got to admit, for the city of Sudbury. So for anyone who doesn't know, also watching this out there, they obviously seen the big fights that just came out. That was a huge fight. I mean, I've been in the city. I've been kickboxing too for a long time with you guys. With Kyle's a good friend of mine as well, right?
Yeah.
And it was quite interesting to find out. Everyone kind of had that little animosity. What was going to happen? Was Jessie going to take him, or was Kyle going to take you? I want you to walk me through that fight. Like, walk me through the mentality as from that moment, you know, at the Caruso Club when you guys got face to face. Everyone thinks maybe if that wasn't real, but I believe obviously we've seen the animosity.
Yeah.
Walk me through this, how this all got started, and then going into that ring and going into that fight.
Yeah, well,
big fight.
The hype behind it was definitely real. A lot of people thought it was set up and stuff like that, but no, like there was a genuine a real beef between me and him. You know, we were training together, and then we went our separate ways, and some things were said. You know, and words got to me, and I just didn't like it. And I just wanted him to, you know, eat his own words, and the whole push at the Caruso Club, that surprised me. I didn't think he was actually going to push me, but
Nate Diaz style.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Kyle's an emotional kid, and he let that out in the ring, and that's okay. You know, it made for a good show. You know,
Absolutely.
It proved it at Silvercrest Hall on Saturday. It was packed. The crowd was electric, right?
It was insane. Honestly, I've never seen, like you said, I only thought there was like 300, but it looked like you said, I don't know how to scale the amount of people, but you said there was 500 people there.
Yeah, probably more than that, I think.
Probably more than 500 people. Honestly, walk me through, when you were in the back room, what were you thinking? Like when Mitch was getting you warmed up, you're getting your taped up your hands, everything else, like walk me through, what were you thinking?
Well,
like, what do you do? Like,
usually what I think is just like the end result, like I already won, you know what I mean? Like, I go through the game plan that we had. We didn't have that much of a really hard game plan, and I was just focusing on following what Mitch was telling me and listening to my corner, and you know, just visualizing what I was going to do and visualizing me getting my hand raised.
Absolutely.
Pretty much all. And I think of like the reasons why I'm doing this, and you know, one of the big reasons because I lost one of my good friends, you know, Matt Burnett, and that was a big push for me for this whole camp. Like,
sure, yeah, that was tragic.
Yeah,
right? No one wants to ever go through that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Gives you a little bit of a push too, and like I had Mitch on the interview here about, you know, a couple weeks ago. I pulled him in, and you know, it's funny how your gym started like from nothing. Like Mitch has got the business side now too. You know, you guys came up from nothing, and now you're pretty much a partner in that gym, like kind of like a business partner. You're one of the main trainers, right?
Yeah. I'm just the full-time coach there, and it's a dream job pretty much. You
Completely,
know? You know, that full-time coach, but also this camp I spent maybe like over a month in Toronto, and you know, that was basically my job.
Where were you? So you were training. You trained with Bazooka Joe for a little while. You were at what is Parabellum, and then Pound for Pound.
Yeah, and Warrior Muay Thai, and actually went to Cal Somnit too. Trained with Barry McDonald. That guy's a beast.
A machine.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, like, who's one of the, you know, not craziest, but like, who's one of the, you know, most inspiring trainers you ever went in there with? I know there's a ton of them. I know we all know guys like Crew Chris, Crew Jeff, Crew Mark, all these other trainers. But who's someone that really you're like, holy crap, that they came in with like a wealth of knowledge in terms of martial arts?
Well, every instructor I've worked with, they all have their own little expertise, and I try to take everything I learn and make it my own style. But the most inspiring, I would say, would be like, you know, of course, Joe Valtellini. You know, like the guy fought to the top, and well, not only Joe, also my coach Mitch. You know, we're all Canadian, we're all from small towns, and both of those guys made it to the top, and really like exposed Canadian martial arts, and it's, you know, they inspire me. That's the drive to, you know.
So, Jessie, I know this is a weird question too. Like, obviously, you know, you experience a little bit of fear. Like, no, maybe not you, but like everybody experiences fear in some type of way. And stepping into a ring obviously isn't the easiest thing. And like I tell everybody watching out there, it's the same thing. Like, picture this in your mind. You know, your song comes blaring over the PA system, and like you're going out, and all of a sudden you see the guy and he looks scary or whatever it is. There's no turning back. No. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. You know, in a good way. Like I think like what a mentality. Like how do you deal and overcome that fear or that stress, if you want to, whatever way you want to word that.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I think it's just something that, you know, certain people have. Like my coach calls it the it factor. You know, to be able to deal with that. Some people can't do it. Some people are amazing on pads and training. But when they get in front of the crowd and when it's the real deal, they kind of, you know, freeze up. But the way I deal with it, I don't know. It just I don't know. There's still that fear. Like I'm terrified. Even like on Saturday, I was terrified. Like even if like, you know, I beat Kyle, but I was terrified of Kyle that night. Like
exactly,
you never know what could happen, man. We're at that level where one shot and he actually did rock me. You know what I mean? That could have been the end right there.
That could have. Yeah, I've seen that one shot. Was it an uppercut?
It was an overhand right.
Kyle throwing the big big overhand right.
Yeah, he slipped my hook and he caught me with it. And it was a good shot, you know what I mean? So,
well, the thing I noticed from that night, especially like obviously you both have clean technique, everything is your kicks. Always, since you know you have hands too, you have everything, but your kicks, like you kick right to a 2x4. Honestly, I was watching you set them up, bang, and it was such good Muay Thai kick back kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Did you, at any point in that fight, and even though Kyle's my friend, I want to ask, because it gets just both into the mentality, at any point did you know that you're like, holy crap, maybe you broke him, or he was like, holy crap, I'm hesitant, had fear?
Yeah.
Because you both came forward. Like, that was the thing. Like, you both smashed in the center. Like, I was like, no one was backing down at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was, you know, the original game plan, I wasn't going to throw any leg kicks the first round, and because we knew he would know. Because I throw low kicks. I like throwing it.
I know, it's Bazooka Joe style.
Yeah. So we weren't supposed to, but then I ended up throwing one, and I seen it. I seen it in his face that it hurt him. So that's when I just went for the kill. You know what I mean?
And I gotta ask
after it. So
no, absolutely. And I gotta ask for everybody out there. Like I know, like obviously, like Mitch had told us before with the adrenaline pumping, you don't feel the leg kicks and such. But do you feel that like when you're throwing that bare shin? You know what I mean? Can you feel that when it cracks his knee or anything like that?
Yeah, it was weird. Like you feel it sometimes you don't. But I think my adrenaline was so high that I did not care. He was checking the kick and I was going right through. But
yeah,
you definitely feel it. Just the pain doesn't register to your brain like that night. You're just like, you're going for the kill. You don't care what happens, right? So,
no, exactly.
But he definitely, like I felt like I was kicking him hard. Like I felt his meat.
It was wild. I heard it. You know, yeah.
It was crazy.
Okay, so changing gears here. So that big fight stuff like that, it was promoted really well. I like the whole idea of promoting, doing certain things. So as a fighter, you know, you see people getting paid a lot more money. The ones that are kind of outspoken are the ones that put themselves out there and they're able to deliver. Something like you guys. So Kyle put himself out there. You put yourself out there. You guys did a little bit of trash talking and look at the hype. 500 people plus.
Yeah,
that's huge. Whereas before these other events, I haven't seen them even close to that capacity.
Yeah.
How important do you think it is as a fighter to be out there? Like maybe not be cocky, but to promote yourself, get on social media, do all these things, marketing. You know, how important is it to market so that people can see you like Dana White or let's say these big kickboxing leagues like Glory? Like you find that, like how do you do it?
Well, like social media, man, it's strong, you know. It's definitely very important to promote yourself, you know. At the end of the day, you know, I'm still like an amateur fighter. I'm really small compared to all the other fighters out there, but it's important to get your name out there, and that's what I think big promotions, that's what they look for, right? If you have a fan base behind you, and that's what I'm trying to build, just slowly build.
Exactly.
You know,
you got the whole city behind you, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been in these camps.
There's one step, you know.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And also now I want to talk about this too. So now you're sponsored by a big company as well. You're sponsored by Boss. Mark's already been in for an interview right before. Yeah. Like, how are they backing you? They get you all set up. You just try to promote their name and kind of work together. And
yeah, they help me out with a few things. You know, I get some supplements from them, and yeah, the support. The same thing with them. Like they promote me as well.
Absolutely.
And I try to promote them as much too. You know, I had a few sponsors. I had Boss, Safe Fit Fitness from my buddy Pat Gerard, one of my best friends.
Yeah.
You know, Bruno's All Repair, and actually I think it was Blind River, and Lego Electric. So they all help me out. You know. That's if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to do my training camp that I did.
No, for sure.
So.
And just for everyone that knows, like I know Jessie as a guy. Like when I look at any of these type of fighters, especially, you're the one that stands out. You know what I mean? For the city sub, everybody knows you as a kickboxer. Like you've been around, you fought all these guys. You've been, you know, in all the different gyms you kind of promoted through.
Yeah.
How do you find? So as a martial artist here for a second, I want to pull this back. what do you find is important? Like the lifestyle obviously isn't just about fighting. Like it's a whole mentality. You know, you got to stay humble, and you see guys like John Charles Scarborough. He was another guy that was there.
Yeah.
Like how do you find how do you promote yourself in that regard? Like as a martial artist, how you carry yourself? You're good. You're humble. You're not this big. Oh, I'm coming in to fight. Like I think a lot of people actually misunderstand martial arts. They think these guys are fighters. They're coming in to just beat each other up. When actually you meet guys probably like Bazooka Joe. He's a really nice guy. Like you're really nice.
Yeah.
Like how important do you think that is? Like how do you promote yourself? Just try to be humble. Like
yeah, the whole thing, like, you gotta be humble. You gotta act like you have to treat it like a job. You always have to be professional. Of course, you're gonna have those times where you party, but you just can't let it out of hand. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's not just the training. You're just acting like it. You gotta eat like a professional. You gotta train like it. Everything's just, you gotta act like a martial artist. A lot of respect to involved. You gotta respect yourself, right?
Yeah, you guys even hit gloves too at that big fight. Like I was surprised you and Kyle hit gloves.
Yeah, man. Like it was over. Like I knew like whoever came out winner on top like that night, we were gonna be good.
We were gonna be good. Absolutely.
The beef was done.
You give each other a big hug after.
Yeah, man. Like Kyle used to be my best friend, man.
For sure.
We were boys.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
How did you find Kyle's style comparing to yours? That being that we started all at the same time, like so you started with Kyle. Kyle was like your prodigy, right, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like how did you find all of a sudden how he's transitioned as a fighter, going in there and actually fighting him with that anger and all the other stuff?
Yeah, there's a lot of improvement to be done. He's really talented. The kid's talented like crazy.
Definitely.
He's got his work ethic that he needs to work on, and there's a lot of things. Like the sky's the limit for him. He has to put it together, and if he wants it, he's got to push for it.
For sure.
So.
And going back to you, what do you think? So, what does it take to become a pro fighter? Like, if you want to go on the pro level, obviously you got to win fights. You got to be out there. Like, what does it take to get to that next level? Because and this is my opinion. It's biased, guys, but I see Jessie as going pro soon. Like, I would see it from my own outside opinion. Watching you as a fighter, watching you as a martial artist. I watch a lot of martial arts myself. Get to see the technique. Yeah. Like, you look like you're going to that level, man. Like, you seem like the way. Even when I saw you go in there, if you go in with that fire, that intensity, the hunger.
Yeah.
Like the sky's the limit, right?
Yeah, and that's you said it, the hunger. You need to be hungry, you need to be consistent, disciplined, and you need to expose yourself to your weaknesses during camp, of course, and just keep learning every day. Just like I quit my job to do that because I want to become pro. I was making 110 grand a year in the mines, and I just one day quit and want to do this full time. And I think that's what it takes to be. If you want to be a successful pro, you need to just work. And,
absolutely.
Get those hours and be consistent.
No, I think that's so important too, and I think just to add on to what Jessie said, like I'm of the same thing. You got to work, you got to hustle, and it also comes in with the strategy too. So that's why I guess I asked you about the social media question. I think that's so important that you're getting out on social media. So like you have your fight, I've seen you blasted on Facebook. You're putting stuff on Instagram. You have your daily videos out there, and I think that's one of the most important aspects of that.
Yeah.
Can I ask you then? And I mean, if you have stuff planned, I just want to ask you so everyone knows like. When can you give us a timeline or an idea of maybe when you're thinking of going pro? You want to have a couple more fights? You want to heal up? Like,
yeah.
If you don't want to say it, don't go ahead. It's people are curious. They're gonna want to know.
Yeah, I got a few fights coming up. I thought I had broken my foot, but it looks like it's good. It's gonna heal up pretty quick. It's not broken. So yeah, it's actually I know there's an infusion card coming to Canada, and some talk I've been asked. So it's nothing's set, but I'm hoping to go pro this year. But it all depends, on me and how what the future brings me.
Exactly.
But definitely, I'm aiming for this year to go pro. This is
you're on fire.
This is what I want.
I like the momentum too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For any people out there, how often do you train? Like you're obviously you're incorporating explosive weight training, then you do the Muay Thai, the running, like you just walk people through that so they get in the mind of like the fighter, right?
Yeah, you need your rest days. I try to go every day, but train every day, twice a day. And I just kind of balance it out with my weightlifting. Lifting, I only do maybe, 2-3 times a week. Functional movements, under my coach Mitch. He's an awesome personal trainer. He knows his stuff when it comes to lifting for athletes and martial artists and stuff like that. But yeah, I usually, probably 6 days a week I'll train, depending on how the workload is. Some days I'll take a day off in the middle of the week because you need that rest.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like crap.
The training nowadays, that there's such a big science behind it that you need to be aware of your body. We don't like overtraining, because sometimes it just hurts you in the end, right? So, it's
for sure.
Well,
no, I kind of find it funny. We all get injuries in certain things, right? If you're overtraining, doing that.
Yeah.
But you seem like one, like even in those fights, like I said, like watching you, like just as a martial artist, like as you grew up, and then everyone else would be getting hurt in there. You know, they go in the fights, they lose, someone will get TKO, and then you always see you come out. You would always come out okay. You'd always, even in the national title fight, ended up winning with a broken hand.
Yeah,
right. You won that with a broken hand. Like most people would say, okay, there's no way I'm going in there. And then next thing you know, he goes in, you win a title, and then you disappeared for a little bit. Like you did your own thing. You were busy with work, and then all of a sudden you come back and you win a title. Was it last year or the year before?
2000, about 2 years ago. Yeah,
world title.
Yeah, last year was a bad year.
Well, no, that's okay. I mean, you got to come back. That's the thing. Fighting's a tough sport. It's not,
exactly.
Everyone thinks it's not like you just show up for a 9 to 5. It's like, no, you're going in there and someone's going to throw a kick at your head or someone's going to do that.
Exactly, and exactly. And that's what it was. We were talking about injuries like last year. Like I was supposed to have a big year last year, and I got asked to be on Team Canada for WKF. Supposed to fight Italy, and I had title fights lined up, and I was training, and coach kept telling me you need to go get your back checked. And I ended up tweaking my back and was out for about 4 months. So that's all part of the life, right? You got to come back and.
Exactly, and you honestly love it. So that's the passion. You have that passion. You can see it in your eyes, man.
Yeah,
that's huge. And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, and to close this interview with one final thing, I've asked you about going pro. Like, do you see anything else in the future? Like, for anyone out there watching, where do you see yourself? Like, where do you see yourself going? You're going to go pro, or are you going to do some business stuff with your marketing, like on the side, like promoting the brands? Like, where do you see yourself going, my man?
I want to fight Glory. That's
huge.
A big thing. I like MMA also, so you never know, that could be something I dip into.
You used to submit some guys before back in the day.
Yeah, I just got to get on my jiu-jitsu. But, right now my focus is kickboxing.
Sure.
I love kickboxing. I love boxing. I wouldn't mind a couple boxing fights either.
Sure,
but, it's all talk, like, right now my focus though is kickboxing. It's Glory. I want to fight Glory. That's
absolutely
Glory or Infusion or lion fighting. One of those big
promotions.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be a dream come true.
And how do you, like I said one last time, you just say you do it, but this is important. Like, how do you handle the pressure?
Yeah,
like how do you just do it? Like seriously, that's so important to me. I think as a fighter's mindset is a lot different. Similar to business people when they're going into these high-end negotiations, but they're not getting their head, after the block and stuff.
If you do the work, if you do your work during the training camp, and you did everything, you prepared properly, then you just learn to tell yourself, I did the work, and the best of me, hopefully it's a good night for me. You just hope for you don't hope for the best.
You wouldn't go, okay, do the best.
But, I knew I did the work, and, I know, just tell myself, no, you're ready.
Exactly.
You're going in there and you're going to win, so.
Do you have anyone you look up to besides, you look up to Mitch and Bazooka Joe? Is there anyone else that inspires you in the world, and not even business, but just motivationally? Like, do you look up to other guys? Like,
yeah, like, my trainers and just other athletes that I see, like, slowly make it up to the top, like, I get inspired by a lot of stuff, you know what I mean?
For sure,
yeah. I had an in-house, like a fundraiser, and I got a kid a fight, he's got like a disability, and you've seen it, right?
I've seen it, yeah.
And
awesome.
He fought in there, and he gave it his all. Like, despite, what he had, he put it all out there, and that inspired me. I was like,
sure.
There's no excuses, man. This kid's in here.
No, exactly.
If you guys want, he's Josh Rainfield. There's a shout out to you, but
look up to 100%.
Yeah. So
no, I think this is so important, and then this is another thing. I just want to close this on something I think is important. So if Ryan Benoit is out there, so he's got the shirt on right there.
Yeah.
Ryan, out of anybody I know, everyone's giving me excuses and they're saying, "Oh, I can't do this." But I mean, at the end of the day, this guy, he's in a wheelchair and he's out there promoting his business. He's out there getting different contracts. He's doing things that inspires me. He's literally the biggest hustler I know in terms, and I mean hustler in a positive way. Mm-hmm. And I look at him sometimes and I'm just sitting back and I'm like, holy crap, Ryan, you're going global, man. Like I sit there and I get him excited for that because he's got the skills, he does it all, he's done his degree, now it's time to go to the next level.
Him too, he's another inspiring person for me too. Right. Like I went to high school with him, I remember.
Really, yeah?
Yeah, even in high school he was always like, you do it, Jesse. He was always like pumping me up. I knew him for a while, and now to see where he's at today is just, it's unreal. It's crazy.
He was in one of my classes actually in university, and the next thing you know, he was in the mall. And I can't disclose something he said to me in the mall. Just it was something cool about like how he's doing good in his business. And I'm like, Ryan, you're a freaking man.
Yeah, he's crazy, man.
All right, so it's been an absolute pleasure. But for anybody out there to get Jesse on social media, give them your social media, your Twitter, your Instagram, and Facebook. I'll plug like that.
Yeah, all of it is just at Jessie Cronier. My full name, JESSIECRONIER. That's it.
This guy's going to be a future world champion. He already is a champion, but I'm talking a pro champion. You mark my words, I predicted it right on the show. All right. And you're a humble guy, man.
Thanks,
honestly,
man.
It's been a pleasure, Jesse.
Thanks, buddy.
You're still a brother. All right. And I clicked that off.
All right.
That's fine.